fans with us today. He is one of the baddest small tire, no print racers in the world. And he rolls with some of the coolest dudes out there that don't take shit from no one, but will take some monies in a smoky trailer. Coming to us from Louisville, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, everything looks good. Butterface, Team Meatballs, Alex Thompson. How's it going, my man?
Doing good. How you doing, buddy?
Great, great. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us here this week on the E's and B's. Obviously, a guest we've been dying to have. And as we always do here on the podcast, we're going to jump into a little bit of Alan's life, find out what makes him tick, how he got his start, and of course, some fun questions as well. If you're ready, Alan, I am.
I'm good to go.
Here
Let's
we
let's
go. All
wing
right.
this.
All right, my friend. Tell the fans and listeners out there, how did you get your start in the no prep world?
Well, let's see. Well, we've always been into racing in my family, but we've always done all different kinds of racing. We've done street racing, track racing, and then boat racing. And then when I got in high school, I just played ball. That's all I did. We didn't race, nothing. We just played strict ball. And then after I graduated, I had a little truck, and then I sold it, and I bought a Malibu. That was always a car I wanted. Um, and I've been digging. I almost went and traded my truck like twice for a Malibu. And then I found my car, and we went and bought it. And then we bought it, and then I don't know if it was really COVID, so we didn't go to the track. We went straight to the street and started racing on the street. My first, I don't know, probably 40 passes was on the street. We couldn't go to a track. So I mean, and then once I start street racing and we start getting a little faster, and then my first ever no prep race was at Edgewater when the Dirty 30 wrecked. That was my first ever no prep race was there. And then after that, it just snowballed into what it is now.
Man, let me tell you, it's grown into something pretty amazing. We could touch on a lot of
Oh,
it. We
it's
will
crazy.
as we go through this. I mean, like as far as your social media is blowing up, jumping, tremendous on
Mm-hmm.
subscribers, all kinds of cool stuff. But I want to talk a little bit about how this kind of came about. I gotta say, obviously last year, popping my cherry, going to War in the Woods, my home state, Indiana, getting to see some of the baddest small tire racers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Your pass when I was out there, and I mentioned this, was one of the best passes first round I've ever seen. It was, I mean, A to B, and it looked mean. And I know I greeted you
Mm-hmm.
on that later on. But what I want to talk about is the racing family. And of course, what we talk about always here on the E's and B's is how the shirt's off of anybody's back, do whatever it takes to, for anybody in a certain group and all that good stuff. Well, I want to shine a little light on Team Meatball because here's how things worked for me. Obviously, being at my first event, I was super stoked to be just on the grounds, Jeff Thomas, and shout out to Julie Randall for, greatly taking care of us here at the E's and B's. But what it boils down to is it came down to the first night, and I had a golf cart that I needed to put somewhere to charge. And with a little bit of guidance, I was told where to go, and it ended up happening to be right up by Team Meatball's camp. And
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of courage, I walked right on over and introduced myself and just explained the fact that I needed to leave the cart there for a charging situation and asked if you didn't mind. And of course, Pops, shout out to him, came right out and
Oh
said,
yeah.
no big deal. And just the graciousness of that whole entire group, knowing that you guys have never met me, seen me, nothing about me, maybe a little bit about me from the podcast, but just
Mm-hmm.
the open arm feeling. And from that day forward, it only got better. Shout out to Doss, who greeted me just the day later, introducing himself, and had to be the very first person ever to come up to me like that. And it was very cool. And since that day, I've done nothing but follow this
Oh shit.
team. And I think that, it goes to show this racing family is very big. And like we said, we'll do anything for everyone. And I still want to, say how much it meant to me for that. And that's why I brought you on here today, not only just to brag about my podcast, but to
Oh
show a little bit about what your team is all about. And that's what we're here for.
man, I appreciate that. That's the big thing to me is family. And everybody's family to me. And until you certain cross the number, once you cross that number, we'll talk different. But I'll everybody in like my team is family to me. We ain't a team, we're family.
Absolutely.
And so.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's get back to it here. How about this one? Tell me one thing that you love about no prep and one thing that you hate about no prep racing.
One thing I love about no prepping is, man, the people and going, because I've traveled a lot here last year, and going to the different tracks and stuff, how nice people are, and it's just everybody, every track is a home. It's a different home. Like you're just going to out of town, to see another family member. Everybody treats you well. Everyone tries to take care of everybody. There's a problem, somebody's gonna help. Somebody's gonna need something. Even if so and so is going, I'm racing them. We want to help them. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, everybody wants to help each other because everything ain't cheap. And everybody, it's just crazy to me, like how I don't know if everybody understands like how big like the racing community is, and it don't matter who it is, they want to help you. At the end of the day, my
Absolutely.
light's twitching.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with you. A lot of people always frown upon certain parts of it,
Hold
say
on.
it's all for mainly
Oh,
attention
damn it.
and stuff like that. Like for instance, just being a sports
Oh shit.
podcaster myself here, I don't necessarily need the attention. I want to bring you guys on here to shine the light on you, to shine the light on some of your social media outlets out there, spread the word. For certain people like myself, I live out on the West Coast. I can't get to a lot of that East Coast stuff. So it makes it a lot nicer when you can help out everybody involved. And I think that's what makes this racing community and circle so much stronger. All right, tell me this. If you could choose one, what would it be? Front, back, or street?
Man, that's a hard thing. 'Cause I raced all of it, and I swear there ain't nothing like going down to the street, especially south, and racing the street down there. It's up here and up north, like we just can't. I don't know what it is, but we just can't get away with it like they do down south. But down south, man, there ain't nothing like it, especially at the pad. You never been to pad, you ain't went nowhere. Like that place there is just a different world. And I would have to say probably street. Down there, especially down south. I would love to go to Texas and race, but I mean, the street is for sure a game changer. I mean, front
Absolutely.
side and the back track is fun, but the streets is it's just got a different vibe, you
It's the
know.
equalizer when it boils down to it. We all
Yes, it
know that.
is.
And, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how many times you've been up and down it, that can change at any moment. We know tracks can too sometimes as well. But, there's a reason why
Yeah,
certain racers stay at certain areas, don't travel and such. But we won't dive into
yep.
that. We're going to keep this a little fun
And
here today.
yeah,
All right.
one thing I do hate about it all
Yeah.
is the no front ends. That's one thing I
Okay.
hate about
All
no prep
right.
racing.
Seems
That's
to be
one
pretty
thing.
common.
I feel like a car should have. Yeah, I think a car should have a front end on it. You
Okay.
know, that's just me.
Let
You
me
know,
ask you this. Do you think the team
uh,
aspect is an advantage over, say, someone that comes solo with maybe a couple crewmates or whatever? Do you think that team aspect with the data they can give, share, and all that, is that
yeah.
always going to be the advantage? Or do you think sometimes those guys that hide their stuff and maybe have a little couple secrets over a couple teams, which do you think's the better aspect?
Me, I want to say a team, because I mean, the more brains you got, the more ideas you're going to have, and as long as you ain't afraid to try it, you're going to find out if it's better or not. And say you got 4 or 5 cars and they have similar combos, and you tell one person one and they're set up the same, man, it's going to be hard to beat them. I mean, a team aspect, you're sharing data, you're helping each other, you know each other's cars, and you go to certain surfaces, you're gonna know that person's car is just as well as yours, and you have ideas that you do to your car to help theirs on their pass. I always think a good team will be an individual person, even though the individual person might have done it for years, but out of the outcome one day, that team is just gonna excel to me. So
Yeah, I can
I,
agree. I
I
mean,
think a
it's
team
the
will.
proof's in the pudding. Myself, I'm watching it before my eyes when I watched what you and Doc
Mm-hmm.
Holliday and Scrappy and everybody there at Team Meatball has been doing from past, last year into leading into this year. We're just getting started. Obviously, we haven't even really touched any kind of big races yet. But I gotta say,
Mm-mm.
I agree, and I think the team aspect's the way to go, in my opinion, especially when you're going to be traveling around trying to take all the monies and trophies from everybody. All right, let's switch the gears a little bit here, Alan, and get to some of my fun questions. We'll get back to some of those. And of course, talk about Team Meatball before we get done here. How about this? The famous E's and B's question. You're having breakfast tomorrow, Alan, with any celebrity or racer out there. Who are you having breakfast with, and what are you having?
I'm going to say Jennifer Anderson. Me and her, we're going to eat breakfast, and we're definitely going to eat some pancakes. I'm a pancake guy.
All right. Yeah. All right. Didn't see that one coming at all. I hope you don't get trouble for that, but I can definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
How about this? Here's another fun one. I know I asked Happy back here a couple of weeks ago the same question. This is something I think would be very cool. Picture this. You're lining up, getting ready to be called up to the box. It's your turn to roll up. And just like they do in the baseball world and everywhere else, you've got your own walk-up music. What would your walk-up song be as Butterface rolls into the box?
Man, I would have to say P.I.M.P. by 50 Cent. I think that would be like just a moment, get you feeling, especially if you're at Brown County and that's playing, that's a game on, it just pumps you up.
Man, I could agree with you. Take me back to a little old school there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Awesome stuff. All right, let's get back to a little bit of the racing talk. I know my fans and listeners out there want to check you out on the socials. We'll get to that here in just a minute, but I got to ask, where did the name Team Meatball come from?
When my dad's best friend was named Mark Portman, okay, and he had a brother named Steve. Well, Steve's name was Weasel, and my dad's best friend Mark, his name is Meatball. I didn't know their actual real names until I was a freshman in high school, and I just knew him as Meatball, and he ended up getting cancer and ended up passing away. So when Sean Blanford started up a thing with Team Meatball, for cancer and stuff. And then when we started really getting to racing, it's me and Cam, and we was doing some videoing, and I said, man, let's start a YouTube channel and come up with team name, so let's just do it. I mean, we're videoing everything anyways. And we had a few names, and Dad just said, man, let's just name it Team Meatball Racing. I said, bet. I said, let's carry his name on. And it's just something personal, and it's a family thing. And he was like my second dad, and so that's where the name came from. It was named after somebody, and we're just trying to carry his name on. So
man, that makes it so much better. That makes me like it way more. That's for damn sure. That's so cool. Great story. We love to hear those kind of stories because that makes it a little bit more, personal when it comes down all the way to it. And that's why we love bringing people like you on here on the podcast. I got to ask this one. How about this? Dream race. Who are you racing and where are you racing them at for the most amount of money?
Man, I would love to be honest. There's a couple people. I would have to say I would love to race Jason Rank, and it would be on the front side. Probably, I don't know what track. Really, actually, Yellow Belly. Yellow Belly would be cool. That'd be a cool track to race them at. I think that would be the race I would want to do.
Nice. I like Jason Rank, obviously one of the other heavy hitters out there. Of course, we hope to see him later on this season. I know he's going to be in one of those top 32 lists that are being put out here. I got to ask you this one, though. Hey, it's a very fun one. Everybody likes to talk about this one. If you could have any superpower out there, Alan, what superpower would you have?
Man, I would love to fly.
Okay.
I think that'd be cool. I mean, I always want to go skydiving and stuff, but I'm too big to do that. So I would love to go flying, that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights myself. I fly, but like as far as maybe being like, all right, hold on, I'll be over in a minute. Shoot, that'd be all right with me. I think that'd be
that'd be cool.
I can agree. All right,
I think you would get used to it.
Just a couple more here before we turn the table over here to Alan. We've got to ask another fun one. Of course, the movie of your life's coming out tomorrow, Alan. Who's playing you, and what is the name of it?
I think the name of it, because my nickname is Hot Rod. Everyone's always called me Hot Rod, and I think it'd be In the Streets with Hot Rod, and I'll have to have Ryan Reynolds play it.
Nice.
He's hilarious.
Okay, yes, yeah. I like. That'd definitely be a go-see movie in my opinion, especially if you're keeping up the Team Meatball. And Alan Thompson, make sure you guys are checking him out. We'll get to that here in just a second. How about this, Alan? One race this year that all my fans and listeners out there must see or go to. What is it?
Well, since they're having this Gangster's Paradise race, I would have to say that Brown County. I think it's going to be because, I mean, the invite list. I don't know what it is. I don't know who will be on it. But if it's the baddest 32 that show up, that track there would be. It's just got a different vibe than any other no prep track. I would have to say there. Jeff Thomas puts on a great event. It's a party and there's a race going on, and it's not any race. It's one of the baddest races across the country. So I would have to say
Absolutely.
that.
I couldn't agree anymore. Definitely the race that us here Easy Bees will be attending. Hopefully all 3 times this year. So definitely we'll be locking up there with the team Meatball, being able to hang out in person. I can't wait for that. But I got to ask you one more before I turn the table over to you, Alan. And of course, it's the big one. It's the tough one here on the Easy Bees. Make sure you guys are checking us out each and every Friday morning, wherever you listen to your podcast at. And of course, check us out each and every Saturday morning there on YouTube. Picks and Gravy presented to you by Ease and Beast Podcast. All right, Alan, how about this? When it's all said and done, what do you want the Team Meatball and Alan Thompson race legacy to be?
Man, to me, it ain't about getting known or nothing, It ain't me. I just want to know, I guess, as a guy knows it came up and he didn't have, it's me and my dad and my buddies racing all the young guys, we started out all young and, I would just say, they were just good competition, really. I mean, I don't want nothing special, I ain't asking for nothing. I ain't a nobody. I'm a nobody, so I don't think I'm somebody. I don't have nothing special. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I do. So,
Well, I could agree with you, and I could agree a little bit more saying that I think that, if there was to say that you're paving a path or guiding the light, whatever, I think Team
yeah.
Meatball, in my opinion, is doing a fantastic job, and they've only just got started, and there's so much more to see. But with that being said, Al, I'm going to turn the tables over to you. I want you to tell my fans and listeners out there where they can find you at and a couple good races they can come check you out at this year. The floor is yours.
You can follow us on YouTube, Team Meatball Racing. Facebook is Team Meatball Racing. Our Instagram is Team Meatball Racing. And you can go get some killer merch from www.teammeatballracing.com. You can find us there. I know we'll be at I know I'm going to go to North Carolina in March to Shetty side. I'll be back there. I know I'll be at Happy's race at April Fool's, his race, and of course I'll be at one of the Warren Woods. I don't know if I'm one of the first one. It matters how that list turns out for the 32. If I get on there, but we'll probably definitely come up there and hang out. But we'll definitely be at Warren Woods again. So that'll be a few of them.
All right, there you have it, folks. Several big races on the docket for Team Meatball. Of course, a plethora of awesome drivers, in my opinion. Not just my man here, Alan, but a couple other guys. Make sure you guys check them out there on the social medias and give them a follow. Let them know that Eddie B from the E's and B sent you. Alan, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you here on the best breakfast wrestling and sports podcast on your Fridays. I know we're going to be catching up here real soon.
Oh, yeah.
The months are counting down. I can't wait. Do me a favor, give Pops a hug, the family a hug. And until next time, coming to us from Louisville, Kentucky. Everything looks good. Butterface. Team Meatballs. Alan Thompson. Thanks, my man.
Thank you, buddy.